I probably won't be able to characterize the events of the last day in anything other than it's fucked up. Fucked up both in the world and in the crypto and just, in general. Naturally, first of all, we will talk about the situation around Iran and the United States, which in a day swing Bitcoin from $67,500 to 72 and brought down oil. We will discuss what to expect next and whether we should open positions already. But also there is still a lot of important and interesting news over the past day. So immediately after geopolitics, we will discuss why journalists call Sam Altman a dictator and a cheat, how is the tax service going to calculate taxes from bets on Polymarket and Kalshi, why did crypto funds attract $224 million in just a week, and why the hedge fund model is no longer suitable for crypto market. As you can see, we have a lot to discuss. Please like and subscribe and let's get started. So the main event after Trump's toughest threats and B-52 bombers that took off into the air, Iran made a concession. Trump said that the United States and Iran have agreed on 2-week ceasefire. And I quote, "The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning a long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate." In exchange for opening the Strait of Hormuz, Trump suspended bombing and attacks, and the next stage of negotiations is tomorrow in Pakistan. The reaction in the markets was, of course, immediate, and Bitcoin jumped by 4.3% and broke through 72,000, and at the time of filming, it's about $71,600. Ethereum is actually not far behind, up 6.3%, rising to $2,200 for the first time since mid-March. Solana XRP hyperliquids all in green, and total market capitalization increased by 4.15% to $2.45 trillion. And I certainly do not want to say that, but you know what? I told you so. I warned you. Any positivity in the Iranian conflict will instantly bring down oil prices, and Bitcoin will of course soar and eliminate our shorts. But you know what? I hope I saved at least someone. But as for the rest, the volume of liquidations per day is almost $600 million, and the bears were betting on escalation for the war, and it's far from a fact that they were wrong globally. But as we said, any positivity will take out their positions. The fear and greed index has crept up a bit from the bottom from 11 to 17 points. It is still extreme fear, but progress is being made, After the opening of the strait, oil collapsed by 16%, Brent is below $92, WTI is $94.07, but before that they were trading above $110. As I said before, markets like certainty, even if it's just a 2-week certainty. But the question is what to expect next. Is it the beginning of the buying? And analysts, of course, they just pour cold showers. Nick Rack, director of LVRG, says uncertainty about meeting the conditions, the threat of new escalation, and macroeconomic pressures can limit the growth. Zeus research analyst Dominic John adds a sustained rally will depend on the stable macro conditions and structural capital inflows. In simple words, 2 weeks is not a long time. Although Trump's statements are extremely positive right now, we all understand that this may change in just a second like this. As soon as Trump starts posting about hell and Stone Age again, Bitcoin will just quickly fly back to 65,000. So yes, we are happy, but we are not even looking at longs with 20x leverage just yet. Alright, now to the news from the AI world. Journalists have published an investigation into how OpenAI CEO Sam Altman works, and the headlines are just brutal. He's called Dictator, a deceiver, and many more things. So what's going on here? Altman is accused of running OpenAI with an iron fist, not tolerating criticism, dismissing dissenters, and creating a cult around himself. And there are some accusations that he exaggerates the possibility of AI and misleads investors. I won't judge whether this is true or not, but the fact that Altman has become almost the main face of AI revolution and how he's been publicly vilified is an important signal. The whole bubble around AI may burst faster than you think, and then the crypto, which is now actively integrating with AI, may also suffer. Now let's talk about the Polymarket. As it turns out, the US Internal Revenue Service has absolutely no idea how to calculate taxes on winnings on Polymarket and Kalshi. It's literally a dead end. Experts say we have a vacuum of instructions, and this puts taxpayers at a disadvantage because how can traders or players report income if none of the existing tools are suitable? So some consider these to be financial derivatives, others are gambling winnings, and some others using ordinary income and they just praying the tax service doesn't come with an audit. It is especially fun for those Americans who use VPN to log into Polymarket. The platform does not issue tax documentation, and legally users from the United States are generally prohibited from working with unlicensed services. But at the same time, all US citizens are required to declare income regardless of the source. In other words, you are already violating the law by logging onto the platform, and then at the same time, you must admit to the tax service yourself how much you earned there, and then pay taxes of this. Is that absurdity? Yes, sure is. This situation is aggravated by the fact that the IRS is currently undergoing a large-scale restructuring. Some of the processes are led by the operatives from Elon Musk's Dodge. Yeah, that's right, the very Department of State Efficiency that Elon Musk heads. America's tax system is in the hands of Musk's people, and this is not a joke, actually. Alright, now back to the crypto. Against the background of uncertainty, strangely enough, institutional money is slowly returning. From March 30th to April 3rd, crypto funds raised $224 million, and the volume of assets under the management has grown to $131 billion. Switzerland became the center of activity, $157.5 million, then Germany, United States, and Canada. Interestingly, XRP products have received almost 120 million, which is the maximum since the mid-December of 2025. Bitcoin instruments attracted 107 million, Solana funds 35 million. And the Ethereum is an outsider here. Almost 53 million of them were withdrawn, and I think this is how investors just digest the negative news about the Clarity Act bill. Let's talk separately about a Bitcoin ETF. During the trading session on April 6th, they raised $471 million, and this is the maximum since February of 2025. And the leader is IBAT from BlackRock, $182 million. Next one, FBTC from Fidelity, $147 million. And next one, ARKB from ARK Invest, $119 million. The positive dynamics coincided with short-term recovery of Bitcoin to 70,000. However, then geopolitics reminded about itself and the price dropped back to 65,000. But today, as we know, it fired up again. And the final news for today is Zahir Abdikar, founder of Split Capital Hedge Fund, announced the closure of the fund. The reason? The hedge fund model is outdated for the crypto market. As he says himself, Spirit Capital has been profitable all the time it existed, showed a net return of 100%, and it was one of the best in all indicators. And he closes it anyway because such a structure does not make any sense for the crypto industry in the long run. Abdikar explains that crypto sector is rapidly changing and actually fragmented. It depends on tokenomics and network effects. It combines venture capital and public markets in just one environment. The number of high-quality projects is decreasing, and many companies are just imitating a business at this point. The main long-term investment option has actually become the liquid token market. Most of the investments are focused on quick profits rather than supporting functional products now. And he speaks quite harshly. After more than $100 billion in venture capital funding and 6 years of euphoria, we have returned to humiliating baseline. Investors, operators, and traders are asking the same question: what will the future look like and where is the value? And Abdikar himself goes to Plasma project, which deals with calculations and stablecoins, and he calls it New Era. And that's all the news for today. Subscribe, like, and save your deposits. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.